everybody. This is Todd Dewey from Ice Road Truckers on the History Channel, and I love to listen to TNC Radio.live.
Good afternoon. Welcome to TNC Radio.live. This is the Truckers Network radio show. And now here's your host, Shelley Johnson.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Yes, this is the Truckers Network radio show on TNCRadio.live, where we offer the entertainment, sports, weather, traffic, news, and information our commercial drivers want to hear. Our drivers are involved in a lot of charities and great causes, and they're huge supporters of Make-A-Wish. The Make-A-Wish Philadelphia, Delaware, and Susquehanna Valley annual Mother's Day Truck Convoy is ready to roll May 8th this year, and everybody's excited. I know we are. They're expecting as many as 700 trucks as the convoy is in full force after being scaled back in 2020 and 2021. This is an event everybody loves. It grants wishes for so many children. This convoy typically supports over 75% of the wishes granted in the Susquehanna Valley each year. We have Terry Finch, the chairperson for the convoy, with us today, along with Will Horsefeathers Tutton, who's raising funds for the event as part of the Hotshot Secrets team. We are excited to talk about this year's event. Welcome, Terry and Will. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Shelley. It's good to be here.
So, Terry, I thought I'd start with you. If you could tell our listeners maybe a little bit about Make-A-Wish and the convoy, what all of this is about for people who aren't familiar.
Absolutely. So, Make-A-Wish was founded as a national organization in the 80s, and their mission is to grant life-changing wishes for children who have life-threatening illnesses. So the entire wish process really gives hope to children who are potentially fighting diseases, going through multiple surgeries, being in and out of hospitals, and it gives them a chance to be a kid and to dream for something and to hope for something. So our convoy event is one of the largest fundraisers for the Make-A-Wish organization. It is the largest for our chapter. And through this convoy, we raise about 75% of the funds that we need to grant the wishes in our area. And the great thing about this is it was actually started with a wish. Back in 1990, one of our wish children, Matt Strausser, wished to talk to his sister on a CB radio. And that was the wish that Make-A-Wish granted for him. 40 trucks showed up and they decided to make it a convoy, and we've been doing it every year since.
That is so neat. It's also, isn't it one of the largest convoys or charity convoys?
It is. A few years ago, we actually got the Guinness World Record for the largest convoy of trucks. We had 613 eligible trucks for the Guinness World Record.
Wow.
So we're trying to go for that again.
I would imagine people are super excited because the last 2 years it had to be scaled back, right?
That's right. In 2020, we took our top 30 drivers who are our highest fundraisers for the year, and we had them run the route. We didn't have any events surrounding it. We called it the virtual convoy because we put it all on Facebook Live and on our website. We did the same thing last year with a few more trucks. We brought in the top 100 fundraisers. So this year we are super excited. We're bringing back our carnival, our food, our games, auction, vendors, everything, and we're hoping to have a big event.
Is this a one-day event? And when does it start? What time?
It is. It's one day on Mother's Day, May 8th. And so the carnival opens at Mannheim, Pennsylvania Auto Auction in Mannheim, PA.
Okay.
Open at 8 in the morning, and the trucks will be pulling in all day. And then the trucks roll out on the convoy at 1:30 p.m.
Oh, how cool. What is the truck route? Where does everybody go?
Yeah, so they'll be leaving from Mannheim Auto Auction and traveling through Raffo Township and Mount Joy. They'll take Interstate 283, Route 283 from Mannheim Mount Joy Road to Cloverleaf Road, which is in Elizabethtown, and then come straight down Main Street in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, which is a great town to visit if no one has been there before. A great small town, and they're super supportive, and the trucks roll right down Main Street.
That's got to be so much fun. It's a big parade. I'm sure families, adults and children really love seeing that.
Yes, and especially when we're able to have wish children ride along. So the last 2 years we haven't been able to do that because, our wish children are medically fragile. So they haven't been really at events. This will be the first time in 2 years that they'll be able to ride in the truck. So
neat.
We usually have about 100 children riding along, and they get the biggest cheers from the crowd.
Oh, I bet. And I bet there's a lot of honking of horns.
Yes, we are not quiet.
That's great. Well, that's half the fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that as many as 700 trucks are going to participate. Do you anticipate maybe even more than that?
We are not sure. So our hope is 700. We'd love to break our record again. There's so much happening in the world right now. We're still not fully back to normal yet. But we're really hoping with the numbers that we've been getting in so far, we're on track to hit our goal.
Now, all the drivers that are driving in the convoy, do they have contributions? I mean, how does all this work?
Yes. So each driver we ask to raise or donate a minimum of $100. So every truck that's in the convoy has donated $100 to Make-A-Wish, whether it's themselves, their families, friends, their company. But all of the drivers have the option to raise more. So they can do it online or by reaching out, emailing their contacts. Every driver is trying to raise enough money to get into the top 30. And the top 30 drivers are the 30 trucks that sit in the front row and lead out the convoy.
Oh, how neat. And so well deserved, certainly.
Mm-hmm. They work all year round to do fundraising and raise as much money as they can.
And I just love what you're doing with the children. And you also have people that are clowns. I was looking at some of the pictures and so forth. What do they do?
Yeah, our Make-A-Wish clowns are a huge tradition. They've been there since the first convoy. We have a group of volunteers that come as clowns and interact with the children and take donations. It's also a tradition for them to walk along the convoy route. So as the trucks are going by, the clowns are interacting with the spectators, and the clowns themselves have a little contest to see who can raise the most money. But they've been a great tradition for the convoy, and we're happy to see them back again this year.
How many spectators do you typically have? I imagine this year there's going to be a huge influx of people who are so sick of the shutdowns that have happened the past 2 years.
Yeah, so the great thing is we're actually in a new location, which people may not have realized because we started there 2 years ago. So this will be our first Convoy Carnival at Mannheim Auto Auction. In our previous location, we've seen up to 6,000 people at the carnival on the ground. And people have estimated, I don't know where this number comes from, but they've said up to 20,000 people along the convoy route.
Wow. That's a lot of people, and that's so cool. I mean, it's just got to be so invigorating all the way around. Everybody's having a great time. It's for a great cause.
It is, and everybody that's there truly is there to support Make-A-Wish and to support the Wish children, especially the truck drivers. We can't thank them enough for what they're doing, but they just want to know how much we've raised and how many wishes we're going to be able to grant. So it's a really exciting day.
Sure. And Make-A-Wish is such a wonderful program. These children need these things so badly because they're kind of robbed of their childhood with what's going on with them. And what a wonderful charity event to grant these wishes for kids. They have a ray of hope.
Yes.
And that's so very important. I thought what we could do, we need to go to break, and I wanted to talk to Will, who's participating with a fundraiser, and get a little information from him as well. And then we could do some more talking about how people can get involved with this convoy. It's such a great cause. We're talking with Terry Finch, who's the chairperson for the annual Make-A-Wish Mother's Day Truck Convoy, and Horsefeller's Will Tutton, who's doing a fundraiser for the convoy on Team Hotshot Secret. Stay tuned for more right here on TNCRadio.live. You're listening to the Truckers Network Radio Show.
This blog is brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. Team driving with your spouse. Is it for you? Trucking's an exciting career with many opportunities. Although there are many benefits to being a truck driver, such as freedom on the open road and seeing new places, there's still negative sides like loneliness and boredom. Truck driving is also difficult for your marriage. Being away from your spouse for days or weeks at a time makes it challenging to have a happy and healthy marriage. Thankfully, truck drivers have the option to team drive with their spouse. Forming a husband and wife trucking team can be a great opportunity to spend time together and travel the United States while making good money. Now, like any other job, driving with your spouse has pros and cons. Stay with me to find out if team driving with your spouse is right for you. Now, the pros of team driving with your spouse. Faster delivery. Due to the FMCSA's hours of service regulations, truck drivers can only drive up to 11 hours a day. Any driving after 11 hours will result in a penalty and a bad safety score. Truckers on average will drive up to 55-60 miles an hour. After their 11-hour shift, that adds up to a little over 600 miles a day. When you drive with your spouse, you can drive more miles. While you're finishing your 11-hour shift, your spouse can be resting and getting ready for their shift. This allows drivers to complete more miles a day, which in return leads to a faster delivery. You won't feel lonely. Driving alone can lead to developing mental health issues later on in your trucking career. Studies show that depression and anxiety are some of the most common mental health issues in drivers today. Team driving with your spouse eliminates feeling lonely on the road. Having your spouse with you on the road gives you someone to talk to and enjoy your daily activities with. Make more money. A single truck driver makes less money per mile than one whose team drives. Why is that? Well, with two drivers, you're completing more miles each day, and therefore you reach your destination much quicker. Cons of team driving with your spouse. Difficulty getting along. They say that distance makes the heart grow fonder, and that's true. It can be difficult to get along with your spouse when you're in a small space for weeks at a time. You may find yourself wanting alone time to pursue your hobbies and interests. When you decide to team drive, you give up the possibility of any alone time in your truck. Lack of sleep. To make team driving work, your spouse will have to rest while you complete your shift of driving. Sleeping in a truck cab, especially if your spouse is noisy, can be difficult. As a truck driver, it's essential to have a good night's rest before hitting the road. Getting the right amount of sleep is not only good for your overall health, but it also makes you more alert and cautious when driving. Harder to find trucking insurance. If you decide that team driving's for you and your spouse, you might have trouble finding a commercial truck insurance company that'll write your insurance. When you team drive, your truck never stops. Therefore, the truck is at risk for higher exposure to accidents. Your truck's also more liable to having maintenance issues, which can result in getting violations. Conclusion? Driving with your spouse has many pros and cons. Our advice to you is to take a look at the pros and cons and determine if this is the right career path for you and your spouse. Trucking with your spouse can lead to many great memories. This blog was brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net.
This is Alec Debogorski. Catch our new show, Taillights, Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Central on TNCRadio.live.
Welcome back to the Truckers Network radio show on TNCRadio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly. We're talking with Terry Finch, the chairperson for the annual Make-A-Wish Mother's Day Truck Convoy, and Horse Feathers Will Tutton, who's doing a fundraiser for the convoy on Team Hotshot Secret. Will, you've been working really hard with your fundraiser for this year's event. I was wondering if you could tell us what's been going on and what you're looking for in terms of help and everything else.
Well, as far as what's going on, I've been trying to raise funds pretty much since the fall. This is one of the first years that I've actually worked as hard as I am. As of last year fundraising, I ended up being a top 30 driver thanks to the help of the Hotshot Secrets and their contribution that they did as a corporate sponsor. So with that, I've tried to get going to try to actually best that. And normally I'm a little bit of a procrastinator, and a lot of times, because as Terry said, a lot of times it's just the driver's money or just a little bit of the families with the driver's money. So normally I've been out in the group of the 500 or 600 trucks that are out in the middle there somewhere. Mm-hmm. And watched the top 30 trucks drive out and said, boy, it'd be nice to go with them. But yeah, we'll sit and watch the convoy from here and enjoy it. And I'll tell you, it's not that it's a long time, but when you're sitting in line waiting to go out, it seems like it's forever. If you're back, 200, 300, 400 trucks out waiting, watching the whole rest of the convoy go.
Oh, it would be. So you have a fundraising event page, correct?
I do, and that's all the drivers can have that set up through Make-A-Wish when you register with the Convoy Make-A-Wish page, and so you can use that. And I try to get that out to everybody I know, and as much social media as I can get it out on, because I actually don't do Facebook myself. Mm-hmm. So I end up trying to do as much as I can, but I've also been trying to get around to some businesses as well this year. So I've got a few businesses that are interested in donating, to the Make-A-Wish cause and be able to try to get some extra funds raised in that way this year.
It could be challenging. I mean, you're driving too. So, I mean, this is all in your spare time.
Oh, absolutely. The one thing I do is I end up driving overnight. So I get my afternoons a little bit so I can get out and get around and see a few people then. And my biggest thing is I'm actually logistically not living in the area for the Delaware Susquehanna Valley, Philadelphia chapter. I actually live over in another area, but because of the type of fundraiser it is, I take my old truck over to be able to participate in the convoy. And
which is cool. You sent me a picture of your truck. What kind of truck is it?
I did. It's a 1978 359 Peterbilt.
Ooh, sweet.
And it's just a straight truck with a rollback body. So I actually have some old farm equipment that I take to shows and stuff. And I use the truck a lot through the summertime, and go out and have some fun with it, and try to drag the grandson along whenever he's available and doesn't have other things to do, as grandkids seem to do at this point.
But depending on their age, certainly.
yeah. He's 8 going on 9, and I think he's going on somewhere around 25 or something at that same time.
He thinks he has anyway, right?
It's crazy.
Uh-huh. Well, that's terrific. And where would we find your fundraising page? I see it's under Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, what is it, Terry? It's the Make-A-Wish Convoy site.
Yep, the website is wishconvoy.org.
Okay. And they just look under Will Tutton for his fundraiser?
Yep. If you look at there's a list of top individual fundraisers, and you can search by name there, or you can click to see the entire list.
Okay. Terrific.
So it shows our total fundraising progress through the year till we get to our goal.
Well, I think that this is wonderful that Will's participating. And Will, you really are an example of the generosity of the drivers and how they love kids and everything. I'm looking at the description on your fundraising page that you said, wish kids are some of the bravest and sweetest kids you'll ever know. And they truly are.
That's true. And one of the reasons I actually did get involved with the Make-A-Wish is we had family friends who had a daughter that had a brain tumor, and at about the age of 15, and she was actually granted a wish, and it was a photography setup, and it provided her a lot of relief and enjoyment, her final year. She was able to use this, and she went out and did a lot of nature photography, and she and her mother went a lot of places that probably if the whole situation hadn't happened, and, with having the photography with that type of deal, they probably wouldn't have gone and seen a lot of things that they did in that last year. Wow. But it's a hard thing too, because the reason for the wish wasn't good, but the wish itself was good, and what happened because of the wish was, but it's just a sad situation that things like this happen to kids. They shouldn't have to deal with this stuff.
Absolutely. And that's why Make-A-Wish is such a wonderful organization. And Terry, this whole convoy has been such a blessing to so many families. Do you know how many families you've actually helped with Grant a Wish?
Gosh, it's Our goal has always been to use the convoy to fund as many wishes as we can for our chapter. And we do get a lot of donations, but each wish average cost is about $10,000. So our goal with the convoy is to raise over $600,000. So, we're trying to fund as many wishes as we can. But we have so many wishes in our area, and in the last couple of years, since the wish children weren't able to travel, they've gotten so creative with their wishes. Our most recent wish we just granted was a she shed for a young girl who just wanted a space of her own at home. So we built a shed and gave her her own little creative space that she can use when she just needs to get away.
Neat. Now, I wanted to go back to Will here. You have a $4,000 goal, and we want everybody to be able to contribute to your fundraiser that is on Hot Shot Secrets. You're on the Hot Shot Secrets team. Isn't Hot Shot Secret matching what you're able to collect?
Hot Shot Secret is. So if we get other team members, it'll also go towards them. But they have a $5,000 match this year.
Oh, excellent.
So we're hoping to fill up the team enough to get the whole $5,000. Chris Gravelchuk is very generous and, a great person. He does work with a few other charities as well, but it really kind of surprised me and touched me that, I actually got to talk to him on the air, just over a year ago, and he was delighted to set that up last year to start being the corporate sponsor for the Make-A-Wish and for the convoy. So it was, it kind of pushed me a little bit. And that's, as I say, one of the things that really kind of kicked me this year to get started a little earlier on my fundraising and try to get more. So we're working pretty hard at it this year. And as I say, knocking on a few more doors and making a few phone calls and just trying to get everybody kind of in the loop. And hopefully by Mother's Day, we will have the $4,000 that I'd like to have.
Absolutely. Well, that's why we want to help you get the word out, as well as Terry Finch with the convoy itself, because we want to help get everybody involved and motivated so everybody can raise as much money as possible for a wonderful, wonderful cause. I wanted to talk more about the actual event and what kind of activities are going to be going on, because there's a lot more than just a convoy. We do have to go to break. We're talking with Terry Finch, the chairperson for the annual Make-A-Wish Mother's Day Truck Convoy, and Horsefeather's Will Tutton, who's doing a fundraiser for the convoy on Team Hot Shot Secret. I want to learn more, and I know everybody else does too. Stay tuned right here on the Truckers Network Radio Show on tncradio.live. TNCRadio.live is proud to carry the Steve Summers Overnight Drive Show. TNCRadio.live is dedicated to commercial drivers. We offer the news, traffic, and weather you need, and the entertainment, sports, talk, music, and celebrity interviews you want to hear 24/7. We have original shows and trucker podcasts that feature some of your favorites, like Ice Road Alex Debogorski and America's Truckin' Sweetheart Marcia Campbell. TNCRadio.live is convenient and designed for professional drivers. The best part is we're free, and you can listen anywhere you are on the road. With just one tap, you can tune into Steve Summers and us right on your phone. Simply download our app by going to app.tncradio.live. That's app.tncradio.live.
Hello, everybody. This is Todd Dewey from the hit show Ice Road Truckers on the History Channel. And my source of radio and all truckers news, I go to tncradio.live.
Welcome back to the Truckers Network Radio Show on tncradio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly. We're talking with Terry Finch, chairperson for the annual Make-A-Wish Mother's Day Truck Convoy, and Will Horsefeathers Tutton, who's doing a fundraiser for the convoy on Team Hot Shot Secret. Terry, there's so many things happening, not just the convoy on Mother's Day. I thought I'd have you talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we actually, we're excited to bring our Convoy Carnival back. So that'll be at Mannheim Auto Auction starting at 8 in the morning on Mother's Day. So if anyone is welcome to come there to see all of the trucks as they're getting ready, but also we'll have carnival games and food, some vendors, some interactive games and things for kids. And we'll have some food trucks there, which is new for us for the event. So we have a lot going on there. We also have our online auction. So we have auction items donated from everyone in the community, from our sponsors. My favorite thing at the auction is always the artwork that's given to us by our wish children. So we have a bunch of creative kids who like to make art pieces for us, and they get auctioned off. That's all online. And again, everything is at wishconvoy.org. So if you go to wishconvoy.org, you can find links to all of the different activities, including the auction. Another big thing that we have on Mother's Day is our chicken dinner. So the last couple of years, we've been able to do a drive-through chicken dinner pickup at the Country Table restaurant in Mount Joy at a different location than the Carnival. And they love this event. They want us to come back. So we're having that as well. And if you pick up your chicken dinner at the Country Table and want to hang out, the Convoy will go right past it.
Oh, neat. And I bet it's really good chicken, too. That's always fun. So you also have an online auction.
Yep. So we have, this is the auction at the Convoy has been a tradition from the beginning. And we've had great items come through, up to, a camper, a vacation, a playground set. We've had lots of amazing things donated and gift cards to local restaurants. So the last couple of years, because we've done everything virtually, we put our auction online, and we're continuing that. So if you come to the Convoy Carnival or you come out to watch the Convoy, you'll get a QR code to scan so that you can go right to the website. Everything for the auction is going to be happening online.
Oh, neat. So that gives something for the adults to do while the kids are having fun, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We also have Make-A-Wish merchandise for sale. We have lots of information about the wish process and videos of our wish children and what they've been able to do. And we have a bunch of sponsors who will be with us, including Road Pro, who's our presenting sponsor, and Goods Insurance Company, and Hot Shot Secret.
Excellent. I love all of the involvement here and how everybody rallies around this particular event. And it really shows what the driver community really does. I mean, they have big hearts, and they do so much for people all over the place, especially kids.
Yeah, and so much involvement from our community, from our sponsors to Mannheim Auto Auction. Mannheim really stepped in for us a few years ago when we needed a new location. Mm-hmm. And for the last 2 years, they've donated a vehicle that gets auctioned off at their big spring event. And this year, they raised $115,000 just by donating a vehicle through the auction.
That's neat. That's very neat. No doubt about that. So I understand you've already raised quite a bit this year towards your $623,000 goal. I think that's phenomenal.
We have. So anyone can follow along. If you go on wishconvoy.org, you can see our numbers updating as the donations come in. But right now we have raised $270,899.
Very cool. That is neat. And this is just people coming, well, when they find out about the whole event and everything, they can just contribute. How does this all work? How can people actually contribute directly, or can they find a driver like Will and contribute that way? How does this all work?
Yep. So anyone can go to wishconvoy.org and look at the individual and team fundraisers that are set up. Every driver has a page who registers, so you can find your favorite driver and donate to them. Also, individuals can create a fundraising page. So we have fans, we call them, that create fundraisers. We have wish children who have grown up and want to pay it forward, so they raise money for the Convoy. So anyone can create a donation page and collect donations online for the Convoy and for wishes. Also, if you come to the Convoy event itself, a lot of the drivers will bring cash donations or checks that they've gotten through the year, and anyone can donate there. We'll also have food for sale and Make-A-Wish merchandise, and of course the auction. There are all ways that people can contribute.
Can drivers still sign up to drive in the Convoy?
Yes, drivers can sign up. I believe the website will lock a week before, so around May 1st. But drivers through the month of April can still sign up or join a team, or anyone can create a donation website.
I would imagine you have drivers from all over, not just the local area where you have this convoy. Do you know how far out some of the drivers are from that participate?
So I know in the past we've had drivers register who are as far out as California. They all make it to the convoy, and I know everybody's schedule is a little iffy up until that week. But we've had drivers come to the convoy from the Midwest, from Indiana. I was just talking to the Real Women in Trucking group. They have a team fundraiser set up, and they have women from all over the country that are contributing.
Excellent. Well, and this gets the word out for those who are not familiar, because I understand that there's still some people who aren't familiar with this convoy, and we want everybody to know about it because it's such a great cause.
Absolutely. And it's really simple. I keep saying it. Go to wishconvoy.org and all of the information is there. And you can also contact our Make-A-Wish chapter. Their contact information is there, and they can help answer any questions.
Excellent. Terry, do you have a couple stories of maybe some of the wishes you've granted? I mean, you talked about the she shed. I bet you have some other really heartwarming stories, because this, if somebody doesn't, this sort of thing doesn't pull at their heartstring, then they're not human. I mean, frankly, what you're doing is terrific.
It really is. And I mean, every one of the wishes we've granted is special. We have volunteers who we call wish granters that will guide the child through the process. So they're the first person that they meet for Make-A-Wish, and they ask them 4 questions. Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What do you want to see? What do you want to do? And it just kind of gets them thinking about what their wish can be. And then with the help of the Make-A-Wish office and volunteers and donations, they put that wish together and grant it. Like I said, our children haven't been able to travel for the last 2 years, so we're just starting to open up more travel wishes, but we've been able to do small trips. We take kids to the beach or to the Poconos in our area. We've had a lot of puppy wishes, so some kids just need a companion and be part of a big household, and they just need some one-on-one time with a puppy. So we've had great wishes that are puppy granting wishes. We've had backyard play sets, hot tubs, pools, really anything that is going to spark joy for a child is what we want to give them. One great wish that I always talk about was from a few years ago. One child went through cancer and had to undergo treatment at the Hershey Medical Center in our area. And his wish was actually to put comfortable recliners in the children's cancer ward so that the next group of children going through treatment could be more comfortable than he was. And I just wish.
Wow. That's all I can say. That's amazing. Wow. I would imagine sometimes it's hard to not tear up with some of the requests you get and all of that. But this is just a marvelous cause, and that's why we want to get the word out about it. We're talking with Terry Finch. She's the chairperson for the annual Make-A-Wish Mother's Day Truck Convoy, and Will Tutton, who's also known as Horse Feathers. He's a driver who's doing a fundraiser for the convoy on Team Hotshot Secret. We're going to be talking more about the convoy, more details, how everybody can get involved right here on TNCRadio.live. You're listening to the Truckers Network Radio Show. Great leaders challenge their people not to stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is the book that will help you move past that first right answer to be more effective, more productive, and more successful. This book serves as a blueprint that can be easily applied by leaders, entrepreneurs, truckers, owner-operators, all of us in our everyday lives. This is one of the best leadership books you can read to help you accelerate towards your personal and professional goals. Plus, a portion of the proceeds will be donated to Truckers Christmas Group. Visit TightenTheLugnuts.com to order your copy today. The trucking industry keeps America running thanks to the 3.36 million professional truck drivers who deliver everyday goods to 80% of American communities who rely on trucking for that last mile. The industry represents a diverse group with nearly half of drivers at 42% as minorities. Trucking Moves America Forward, or TMAF, educates the public on the essentiality of trucking by telling the story of trucking and its positive impact on our economy, communities, and lives. Learn how you can join the industry movement by visiting truckingmovesamerica.com. Welcome back to the Truckers Network radio show on tncradio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly. We're talking with Terry Finch, the chairperson for the annual Make-A-Wish Mother's Day Truck Convoy, and Horse Feathers Will Tutton, who's doing a fundraiser for the convoy on Team Hotshot Secret. Terry, you wanted to talk about volunteering, you said, and in your Wish Angel trailer. I wanted to cover all the details because there's so much going on with this event.
Yeah, we, like I said, we have a lot of people that come to our Convoy Carnival that donate to the auction and go to the chicken dinner drive-through. It all happens with our volunteers. So, previously when we've had this big event, we've had up to 350 volunteers that help us pull it off. We also have a planning committee of about 30 people. So it takes a lot of manpower to help something like this run smoothly, from people who help us park trucks to selling food, helping with entertainment and games. And it's really great to see everyone from the community come out and support the Wish children and the drivers and the whole event. So if anyone wants to volunteer, you can also go to wishconvoy.org. And there's a link there to volunteer and get in touch with our volunteer coordinator who can help you with that.
So if people aren't local, can they still volunteer, maybe do some things online? I would imagine behind the scenes you might need some help in that way too.
Absolutely. And especially with our online auction, because that's all on a website. We need help with putting photos up and keeping track of donations. So even if someone's out of the area and they want to know how they can help, they can certainly contact us.
Excellent. Now, what is the Wish Angel trailer?
Yeah, so the Wish Angel trailer is a trailer that was donated to us years ago because the team at Convoy wanted to make sure that we could not only recognize the wishes that we've granted in the last few years, but also recognize our Wish children who have passed. And unfortunately, when we're dealing with children with life-threatening illnesses, some of them do not make it. So we want to honor them. The Wish Angel trailer is a dry van trailer that has a star on the side of it with the name of each child that we've lost since the beginning of the convoy. So we have a couple rows of stars on both sides of the trailer now. And so our number one driver who raises the most money through the fundraising period gets to pull that trailer in the convoy. And right before everyone goes out, we have our top 30 drivers come up and just have a moment of silence with the trailer. And it's my favorite part of the day. It always makes me cry, but it's really moving. And unfortunately, every year we have to add stars to our trailer. But it's a great thing for everyone to recognize why we're there. And for the last few years, we've had a trailer donated from Keystone Utility in our local area, and they put all the stars on every year for us, and that's been a great help.
Wonderful. Well, what you're doing is not only helping children, but you're making a huge difference for families too, because when a child has life-threatening illnesses, they've got a lot of medical bills and that sort of thing. And there are a lot of opportunities these kids wouldn't be able to have just simply because of that. So all of this helps so many people.
Yeah, and there's a good reason we do it on Mother's Day every year, because the mothers and fathers, the families of these Wish children are really important to the process, and we want to recognize them as well.
Absolutely. Now, Will, I understand you got started in 2017 with the Convoy?
That's correct. That was actually the record-setting year that they were looking for the most trucks for.
Very cool. And that got you really, I would imagine, enthused, because what you're doing is terrific with this fundraiser.
It did. And I can say when I showed up that morning and started getting lined, the volunteers started lining us up and got us in position where they want us. To watch the amount of trucks that came in, to see the size of the event is really, there's no way to put it into words or into pictures. If I know you can go online and look at a lot of the convoys on YouTube, and what you see just two-dimensionally on the screen is just nowhere near what it is and the feel of it. And especially out on the parade route itself, when you're going around the whole loop, as Terry was saying, there's probably at least 20,000 people that line the route, that wave and cheer, and you get all the arm pumps for the air horns. And of course, a lot of us have train horns, so some of us make more noise than normally going up the road.
That's fun.
But it is. It's a lot of fun. It's a day that my wife found out that I'll never be at another Mother's Day at home for. So it's just something that, as I say, until you actually get there to experience. And I know there's some other convoys around that were, kind of had the same feel, but there's nothing like this Make-A-Wish convoy. It's just unbelievable what it is. And the amount of stuff there is to do in the beginning with the carnival, the entertainment, and just seeing all the kids having as much fun as they do is a great day.
Well, I think what you're doing, Will, is fabulous. And you really are a wonderful example of the generosity our drivers have, and how much family really, really counts. And something of this size, if you don't have tears in your eyes, a little bit of happiness and joy of, wow, this is an example of how humanity really should be. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, it's a great time. It's for a great cause. And if anybody has any opportunity to either come participate in it or just even come visit it and, be that way to see what goes on with it. It is such a great day. And heck, you get to see 600, 700, 800 trucks, maybe. Hey, Terry, what do you think? Think we should try to think about 1,000 at some point in the future?
Well, our goal is 1,000 someday. Our goal is $1 million convoy, and I think we're on our way.
Excellent. That's a wonderful goal. Absolutely. And people can watch this convoy online if they can't get to the area, correct?
Yep. If you go to wishconvoy.org, again, you can get a link to our chapter's Facebook page. And we do Facebook Live videos all morning, interviews with the people that are there, and we'll show the convoy rolling out. Also, there are a lot of people that post YouTube videos, and that they'll show the entire convoy. So if you look up the Mother's Day Make-A-Wish convoy on YouTube, you'll see our videos there also.
Excellent. So I wanted both of you to be able to plug the website where people can contribute. They can get involved with volunteering. Terry, you could talk about maybe the website for the organization. And then, Will, you can plug your fundraiser as well.
Yep. So if you go to wishconvoy.org, and if you click the About link at the top right of the page, it'll give you links for everything, the auction, volunteer options, ways to donate. And you'll see our total goal, our goal, and where we've raised so far. And so I just refreshed it. We're just over $271,000. So it continues to come in.
Excellent. And this is really good. And Will, where is yours? It's the Team Hotshot Secret fundraiser. It's under your name, correct?
It is, and you can do it both ways. So you go to the wishconvoy.org and you click on the donate button, and you can search for either a team or a driver. So if you search for a driver, my name is Will Tutton, Tutton, or you can search for the team, the Hotshot Secret, and my name is also listed under that as well.
I just love this whole event. And who can't love it? And you know, Will, you said that you're going to be tied up on Mother's Day for this event. I think that your wife probably says, hey, that's okay, right?
She did. She and our daughter and grandson came up for my first time participating. and it was a beautiful day. It's probably been the best day out of all the convoys I've participated in. So we're hoping for good weather this year, of course. And she understands that. I mean, even if something else goes on that if they won't be able to make it, that, they understand where I'm going to be and why I'm going to be there.
It's wonderful. Well, I would say it's a good excuse. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Terry and Will, for being on the show. We've been talking with Terry Finch, the chairperson for the annual Make-A-Wish Mother's Day Truck Convoy, and Will Tutton, also known as Horse Feathers, a driver who's doing a fundraiser for the convoy for Team Hotshot Secret. Everyone needs to check this event out. If you can't be there, you can volunteer online. You can make contributions. But please, please, please get involved. This is a wonderful organization, and what they're doing for children is just phenomenal. You've been listening to the Truckers Network radio show on tncradio.live. Stay tuned for the Evening Surge coming up. Thank you for listening to another great interview on tncradio.live and the Truckers Network radio show. All of the material you hear on tncradio.live, on our website, our broadcasts, or our podcasts are copyrighted. There can be no distribution without the express consent of tncradio.live and its partners. For inquiries, write us at info@tncradio.live.